This video is part of an end result TV show series created during the European Union funded project The Compass, an international training course held in Tykocin in Poland. Throughout the project, participants learned the Compass methodology, a structured framework for organizational management, and worked in groups to design a plan for a sustainable NGO addressing a specific social issue. The participants present their research, showcase their organizational concept, and pitch their strategic plan to the show hosts.
No problem. Thank you for coming to share your ideas. We're happy to see you here. Let's start immediately. Tell us a little bit more about your group. Tell us about the problems you identified, and then we can go from there.
Romania has a big problem with stray dogs. So in 2018, PETA claimed that there was over 600,000 stray dogs in Romania, which is totally over 15% of the entire European Union. But that is not the only issue that is in Romania, because the government has recently made a law that allows dogs to stay in shelters for only up to 14 days before getting euthanized, which is something that we do not agree with. So we made an NGO called No Tails Left Behind to combat this issue. So the NGO is focused on raising awareness through social media campaigns to raise awareness about the law itself, the dogs, and how to actually adopt them, teach the people how to take care of them properly.
Interesting. Can you tell us a little bit more about the idea you have behind it?
The story, there was a 4-year-old boy near Bucharest who was killed by a pack of stray dogs. And overnight there were protests all over Romania asking for more strict rules with taking care of stray dogs. But what happened? Instead of offering more fundings for medical care sterilization, the government chose the easy way out, which was 14 days maximum inside a shelter. If the dog is not adopted, no matter if it's a healthy dog, the dog will be killed. This is what the government chose. There was a lot of pressure in the past years by NGOs, but unfortunately there is still no action. So this is why our idea and how we differentiate, and in the same time we want to collaborate with the active NGOs that are focused on rescuing and having space for extra shelter. We want to, as we are a group of people, some of us also with media presence, we want to use our platforms to raise awareness, making people be aware that adopting is the key in this situation instead of buying. So we are a culture that we love dogs, but it seems like the government doesn't really know what to do and how to handle this situation. So this is where our idea was born from.
Interesting story, definitely. Do you have, and you now mentioned already a couple of things you want to do, but do you have a concrete action plan for the future?
We plan that in the next 2 years, with our help and this media presence, to increase the rates of adoption up to 25%. How exactly? As we mentioned, media campaigns, collaborating with the local NGOs. These local NGOs focusing on grooming, training, giving medical checks, and we come help with local events, communities, and of course, as Ciro mentioned, we plan to offer this storytelling of various dogs that we have up for adoption, and use the power of social media to engage our community and, as I said before, choose adoption over buying a dog.
Do you have any costs for that type of activities? And if you do, how do you plan to get the funding?
There are multiple ways that we observed our NGO could obtain funds, going from large to small. We have the European Social Fund Plus, we have SERV, Citizenship, Equality, Rights and Values, which offer funds for community participation. And as we saw, there are cases of NGOs who focuses on adoption campaigns, receiving money. The next layer of support that we will go for is specific funding from Romania, Civic Engagement Program and Active Citizens Fund. And let's not forget, given that it's such a cause that many people can relate to, especially dog lovers and animal lovers, we also are hopeful of private fundings. And there are also campaigns such as Four Paws International and World Animal Protection that are already supporting causes like ours, but in different parts of Europe.
Very interesting. Alex?
Yes, I do have one question. With such an amazing presentation, this subject, the theme, comes from a personal experience? Do you own the dog? Have you adopted the dogs?
I personally no, unfortunately, because my living situation doesn't allow me to have pets. But I feel Radu has a story to
Yes.
share.
Me personally, I have had dogs in the past. Now I only have one dog. In my family, there has been cases of adoption, and I can say that the dogs are just as well behaved and well loved as when you buy other breeds of, let's call, more popular dogs. Our idea comes from our own experiences.
Do you have any message for the audience, perhaps?
Choose adoption over buying pets. Thank you.
Would it be a good case if buyers should be punished if they just buy the dog, understand that it is not for them, and throw the dog to the street?
Unfortunately, responsible ownership is a big problem in Romania. As you mentioned, people don't know what it means to have a dog. They think it is a Christmas gift, have a puppy for 2 months, and then there are so many cases of dogs left out near the forest or just somewhere left out. So with our cause, we feel like we can help educate. Unfortunately, when it comes to laws or like, as you mentioned, some way of penalty, I feel like only the local government has the power to implement, but we fully support actions that are meant to reduce these types of tragic events of pets being left behind or just being left out.
Thank you guys. Another round of applause.